Knowing yourself and what you value, like how you want to treat others and how you would like them to treat you, gives you a one-up over anyone who is not meant for you. When you know your worth and you love yourself, you will not put up for anybody who makes you feel anything but the amazing person that you are. When you are with somebody who loves themselves, they naturally will treat you better because their cup is full and they feel good within. It's when you're with people who are riding off an empty cup, who feel really bad about themselves, that they start to say those hurtful things, that they start to tear you down. But to be friends with somebody who is of high caliber, who takes care of themselves, who loves themselves, now that feels good, and that's where genuine connection can be made from. This type of love and respect you have for yourself is a silent confidence. It's something that doesn't need to be talked about, but it's just felt by others. Because the most confident person in the room isn't like, oh my God, guys, I'm so confident, I'm so amazing, I'm so superior than all of you. No, they are the person who you get along with, you feel at ease around. They don't need to talk themselves up for you to know that they're a good person, because they just naturally are. And when you embody this natural state of confidence, you will speak up, you will say your boundaries. If something doesn't feel right, you'll say it right then and there. You will respect yourself enough not to keep quiet about things that don't feel right, because you're more worried about respecting yourself and how you feel versus this person being in your life or not. A lot of times people in relationships will hold back what they want to say or when they've been hurt because they don't want to put off the other person. They don't want to make the other person go away or scared of them or run away because of their own feelings, right? So we stuff things. Somebody who is secure within themselves won't mind speaking up in the moment about things that are bothering them. Because when you speak up about a boundary, it gives the other person an option to do things better next time, and because they might have not even realized they crossed a boundary. Or maybe it's the realization that you two are not compatible and you will not see eye to eye. And that's okay too, because you'll clear them out of your life a lot quicker than if you stay quiet about things that don't feel right to you. It's so important to respect yourself. If you want to have a secure relationship within yourself, you have to start speaking up. You have to start speaking your boundaries. A person secure in themselves is so comfortable within their own mind, space, body, thoughts. Like, they don't need the outside noise to constantly stimulate them. They're okay in being in silence with themselves because they know themselves. It's when you don't know yourself that being alone with your thoughts feels very uncomfortable because it's unfamiliar. You're used to constantly being stimulated by social media or the people you hang out with. But when you can just sit with yourself in silence and be with yourself, that shows you are in touch with your thoughts, emotions, needs. People uncomfortable with their own company will not be able to grow and evolve from this space, because sometimes you really just need to have moments of reflection, moments of downtime where you are with yourself, observing the thoughts that are going on in your head. And when there's no time for reflection, really what that person is doing is numbing. They are running away from whatever is going on in their head and they don't want to stop and observe it. Being self-aware will constantly lead to evolution, to growth. When you're aware of your triggers and what has caused you pain, then you can heal from them. Because how can you heal something that you're unaware of? You'll just continue bleeding on other people and make other people the problem. But someone who is secure in themselves and is confident within themselves knows that I play a role in how my life pans out, and I want to make sure I am healing and I am evolving in the right path, and I'm not blaming other people. Someone secure within themselves has a strong sense of self-compassion. Self-compassion is the number one way to have self-love for oneself. It's the building block to a closer relationship with yourself. It's how you befriend yourself. We all have this inner critic in us that wants to attack us, and it's usually way meaner than anybody we've ever met outside of us. Our inner critic can be ruthless, cruel, and say things to ourselves that we would never say to a loved one, right? So having self-compassion and being able to redirect that self-critic into something more loving is super empowering. And when you are nicer to yourself, you will naturally be nicer to the people around you. People will typically show us who they are within the first 5 minutes of meeting them. So when you have great intuition and you are really in tune with yourself and what you like and don't like, you'll easily navigate through people that you want to keep close to in your life or maybe keep at a distance. But somebody who's not in tune with their intuition or how they feel about a person, they'll still get that weird feeling with that person, but they won't trust it until that person hurts them, right? How many times have we felt weird about somebody we met and then trusted them, and then later it was like, oh yeah, I had this feeling way earlier and I wish I trusted it, right? People secure in who they are, they take their lessons from the past, they learn from them, they heal from them, and they grow. They don't get stuck in perpetual cycles that lead them to more pain. Also, your patterns in life, because we all have things that we recreate from our past and it hurts us, right? So having this self-awareness is a great way to eliminate any patterns that are no longer serving us. Someone who is very secure in themselves has the ability to say no. When you can put off instant gratification for the long-term sustainable gratification, that shows true power. That shows more strength than most of the people in our society today. Everything is instant gratification. We want it and we want it now. But if you know that to get to where you want to be is going to take time and it's going to take work, but just being consistent and showing up every day is going to get you there, that is going to produce more fruitful results. Delaying gratification strengthens you as a person and strengthens your ability to create better things for yourself. And the reason that is because it's strong self-control. They know what to say yes to, they know what's good for them, and they know what's bad for them. Things that are built over time will always be way more rewarding than a cheap thrill. Your value just instantly goes up when you can say no. When you are selective with who you let into your life, who you give your energy to, that makes your desirability go up. Versus if you are somebody who's just open and willing to just give and give to everybody and you're saying yes to everything, like that becomes somebody that people know that they can maybe just use and get what they need from them. That is not somebody that is showing that they respect themselves, right? Because they're not being selective. It just shows somebody that will always say yes and just give and give. But that's really draining on you, and it shows other people that you don't respect yourself. So to be more selective and to say no more shows somebody of high respect for themselves, and you respect others too by doing this. Because it shows the other person that they also are able to say no, that they also can have boundaries when they're with you. Someone who's secure in themselves does not compete with others. They don't compare or compete with others. They see that we are all on our own journeys, and whatever that person's path is has nothing to do with the path they're on, right? And so to compete or to compare is just a waste of time. The only person that is really in our way is us, right? The person who we were yesterday, or the limiting beliefs we have about where we want to go. It's just about constantly getting over the barrier of our own self, really. Being secure is also being able to forgive. It's seeing that hating somebody is just the same as drinking poison. When you cannot forgive somebody, you're really the only one who's suffering, because that person's gone and living their life. To heal and to be secure in oneself, we have to forgive in order to move on. So yes, maybe we no longer accept this person into our life. We're all just doing the best we can on this planet, and we're not going to be compatible with everyone, and that's okay. But to hate somebody is really only hurting yourself, because people are always going to let us down. We can't control other people, but we can control how we react to things. Being secure is not about superiority. This does not mean you think you are better than anybody else. It just means that you are more in tune with yourself, and you're better at taking care of yourself, and you're better at navigating through what you like and what you don't like, who you enjoy spending time with and who you don't enjoy spending time with. It's just about being really self-aware and your number one fan, right? And your own best friend. Because would you let your best friend hang out with draining people? No. Would you let your best friend consume toxic content? No. It's just about being there for yourself in the best way possible. And it's all an internal job. That's the great thing about it. We don't have to rely on anyone else to make us secure.